Hi there, it's Rucola again. In this video I want to show you how to install the demo project that I created to show the macro command in action. When you go to the npm website and you search for the macro command, then you get this page and you see here a link called demo project that will redirect you to GitHub. And here you see a repository called mcdemo. Well, you can clone it. I copied the link, and you can clone it to your PC and then run it. Um, this project has some commands in it that you can run, and then it gives some output, and you can see that they run in sync. You can also see how a command is created. But I will explain that in detail in another video because otherwise it takes too much time. So let's open my code editor and a terminal. I go to my um, working directory, projects, work. Okay, I say git clone. This is the link to the repo. There you have it. Okay, so I cd into my project mc demo. Open the directory here. So as you can see, we have here the demo project with 3 application files and a bin directory. And this bin directory has some commands and a configuration file. Um, what you don't have is the node modules directory, and when you have a look in the package.json file, you can see that this project has a dependency called macro command, of course. So if you run npm install, this will automatically download the macro command from the npm repository. So here you have it, and as you can see, now you have the node modules directory, and the macro command should be in here. Oh, here it is. In the macro command you have this config JSON, as showed in the video before, in the previous video I mean, and here those are the 2 directories that are very important and that are required to be set up correctly, because the user command root there needs to point to a directory in your project where you store your commands. So it's by default bin mc commands. Now in the demo project you have this the same, so bin mc commands. That's okay, so I don't need to adjust it. The same goes for the config file. It's here in bin mc config json. So this is all set up correctly. As you can see, I have created also some dummy namespace. And here you have 3 commands in the same namespace. Now if you have a look at the config JSON file, you see I have specified 2 macros, one with ID 1, one with ID 2. Here you see the command sequence. This is the 3 commands that it will run. It will start with command 1. When it's finished, it will start with command 2. And then when that is finished, command 3 will run. And after that, it will resolve a promise and give back all the values that are the results from these commands. So, and here you have a namespace key, and it is set to the value some namespace. As you can see in our root commands there, we have 2 subdirectories, so that is set as be a namespace. Um, let's see if we close this. Also, if you don't use a namespace, if you run from the root, set this to false or just leave out this complete line. Now here we have three demo applications, and I will start with app single mode. As you can see here, we have a Kickstarter. We require the macro command module and then the class Kickstarter. The Kickstarter does everything behind the scenes. Um, the only thing we need to do is create a new instance of Kickstarter and then pass it the name of a command that is in our bin directory. So as you can see in the command directory, I have single command JS. I put it in here. Then what you need to do is to shit. Okay, sorry, got interrupted. Again, we have this app single mode JS. Here you see that we require a macro command, and then in the macro command the Kickstarter class. So we create a new instance of the Kickstarter and we pass it the name of a command. Here you see in the commands directory we have single command JS, so I pass it into the Kickstarter. And then the only thing we have to do is say Kickstarter run, and this will run this command. The command will return a promise, and then when the promise is resolved, I can say, okay, I want to do something with the value, and in this application we do nothing except logging into the console. So, and if it fails, it will log the reason why it fails. So an error. Okay, let's run it. So I say node app single mode JS. Here you have it. I'll make it a bit larger. As you can see, this line is over here. The single command is running. This line was logged from within the command when it was running, and then afterwards we had this as a result. The commands will have a command result object, and it has three things. It has a command key, and it stores the name of the command. It has a data key, and it has an object, some data, and then you have a message, so you can say something from within your command. It's running smoothly or something went wrong, whatever. So this is the value that is returned from the command. So this was only one command. Now look at the app macro mode 1. You see it looks exactly the same. There's one big difference. Now I don't pass the name of a command, but I pass a number, and this must correspond with a macro ID from the config.json file. So I want to run ID 1. So this will run from namespace, some namespace, those three commands, and those are the parameters set. Okay, so when I run it, say node app macro mode 1, and I make this. So here you go, boom. Okay, we have one configuration error. You don't need to worry about it. It's about the helper directory. As you can see, we don't have a helper directory. We only have the commands directory and the config directory. We didn't set up the helper directory, so don't worry about it. And you can see it expects the helper directory to be here because we specified it in the macro command config file. Okay, but don't care about it now. So Here you see the lines with the 3 stars. They are locked from within the command while it was running. So it said demo command is running. It has read the config file, and then as you can see, milliseconds, 500 milliseconds. Um, and then when this one is finished after 500 milliseconds, then demo subcommand 2 will start running. So it waits for 1, and then when it's finished, it will start. As you can see, when the demo subcommand 2 is running, it has access to the previous values. So the value of subcommand 1. You can see that the data result from subcommand 1 was just dummy data, a key 1 with the result object of demo subcommand 1, and a message. It says running smoothly. Okay, and then you go, when the subcommand 2 is finished, you go to subcommand 3. Again, it waits for this one, and then this has access to both previous results. And then when the third command is ready, it's the last one, the promise chain is finished. So it resolves the promise and returns it to your client application that was over here. And then again, when the promise is resolved, you can do something with the value. So I lock this, and you can see this is the returned value. So everything runs in sync. So that is how a macro command works. And I also have made this one to show something about the namespaces, because when you look in the configuration file, you can see that the app macro mode 2 runs the second macro, and the second macro will run those 3 commands in sync. And as you can see, the namespace is set to false. I can also leave it out completely. And now I specify the namespaces in the command name. So I run subcommand 1, then single command from the root of my commands directory, and again some from another namespace. And you can see that the parameters are different. So when I run it, I will get a similar result. Say node app macro 2. So it waited for a couple of hundred milliseconds, 300, yes. Demo subcommand was running. Then after 300 milliseconds, the single command was running. Well, it doesn't log anything, but as you can see in the subcommand tree, it has access to single command here, and it has a value like this from the single command. Okay, then the subcommand tree is finished, and the promise is resolved, and your application gets the result, and the result is this. So this is basically what the macro command can do for you. I hope it's useful. In the next video I will have a look into the macro command itself, and look to the classes in more detail, so you know what's happening behind the scenes. And once you have seen that, I will explain in another video how you can build your own commands and just start using the macro command package. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you will leave some replies, give some feedback on this. I would appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.